the DBMS lab. In this lab, we will look with experiment number 6, that is uh, triggers. We will look with experiment number 6, triggers. So we talked about the basic SQL concepts from experiment number 1 through experiment number 5. Now, in this, we will be talking about uh, the advanced topics related to the SQL part. So that is where we will see up with the SQL elements. So in this SQL elements, the primary focus PLSQL elements, the primary focus will be with triggers, uh, procedures, loops, exceptions, functions, and cursors. So to go with first, we will be talking about the triggers which are related to the employee. Then we will talk about the triggers which are related to a student, etc. So holistically, we will be covering this in a model where we are looking at. So let us start now working with the trigger uh, in the student database. So for this, now we are going to use up the SQL, live SQL. So login first, thereby uh, we will move the, this is how the login page of a PLSQL is going to be prompted. So once the page is prompted, we will use the work area. So the work area will be in SQL worksheet. In SQL worksheet, then uh, go back to the original uh, DBMS notebook where the trigger we are prompting it. So this is the trigger to demonstrate over the student database. So for this aspect, we look in a way towards creation, towards insertion, and thereby to take forward this SQL part. So for that, we will be using a create table that is student one. Then we will take identifier one as student ID, identifier two as uh, student name, marks as the third identifier. So this part we call it as the data definition language part. Thereby we will put up 4 insert commands towards the giving values to the database. So we insert 4 values, some student name Leela, Mani, Rama and Lakshmi, then getting 50, 80, 78 and 90. Thereby we will check whether the database contains the data or not. Now here comes our original aspect. So that is triggers. So triggers, they are going to be the events in database management system, and they will fire or trigger automatically whenever invoked. So to make this true, we have trigger event, then we have condition, thereby we have the trigger body part. So trigger body part, right from declare to the end, we have the trigger body part. Now trigger event, it can happen before or it can happen after. It can happen before or it can happen after. Similarly, trigger event, it can do with an insert or an update or a delete. So these are the 4 more conditions with the triggers. Similarly, triggers can be applied to column that's towards a statement level, which is by default towards the statement level. Statement level, which is going to be provoked by default, and the other was by row. So these are the most important words before we are looking into things. So trigger, it is going to have trigger event, condition and body. Next one, it can be fired with before or after with associated with insert, update and delete, and it does have a condition. Third thing was, it can be of a state, whether it is in a row, by default it is going to be a column level, statement level trigger. So now coming to the part where we are going to take up. So that is create or replace trigger is the syntax. Create or replace is the syntax. Trigger we call here as a reserved word. Trigger, we are going to call it as a reserved word. And student min max marks. So we need to identify what is the minimum marks of a student, and we need to identify the maximum marks of the student. That's where we are going to put the threshold. So minimum value, we want it with minimum value, we want with a 0. So the provoking was that we should fix already the minimum value as 0, and we should fix the maximum value as 100. If it is less than minimum value, then it goes with 0. If it is greater than maximum value 100, again it goes to 100. So always we are fixing up a range. Always we are going to fix up a range. So that is between marks range. It is going to be between 0 to 100. Marks range is going to be between 0 to 100. We are going to include it as a trigger part. So now we can see here, create or replace trigger, student min max trigger, and it is now provoking before the event is going to occur, and that too it uses with insert, delete and update. And student 1 we are going to call here as the table or the database name. So it goes with create, it goes with replace a trigger name, and this is the student min max marks trigger is the trigger name to be fired, and it is going to happen, the event is going to happen, uh, the event is going to happen at each row. So that's the most important takeaway here. Now it is going to check, uh, the condition was whenever a new entity is going to happen. So it doesn't affect the old entities. So old entity in the table will not be affected, will not be affected. So only the things, that is only the new rows will be affected by the trigger. So that is why we say here as new.sid. Now we have marks, it is going to be a variable name. Then we do have the data type. So data type, we are going to call it as a number type. So now what we are going to tell was, if the new marks is greater than 100, then maximum value is 100. Else if we are going to use a loop, and then if it is less than 100, again the marks should be, the minimum marks should be 0 here. So if it is going to be terminated by end if statement. So this is how we are going to check up or work with the trigger. So in trigger, as mentioned, the first thing we are going to have an event, then it is going to put up a condition, the condition, then on what database it is going to do, thereby it is going to put up the, thereby it is going to put up for each row. So this is again important here, and thereby it says the condition part, that is the trigger body. So the trigger body is here. So in this trigger body, we are going to pull it up with the condition. If the marks are greater than 100, that is, I am going to give 140 here. Now the answer should be as 100. If the marks are less than 100, less than 0, then it should be minimum value. So here I am going to put the marks as 60. So the minimum value was 0 here. So in this way we are going to put. So we mix up the marks range, and marks range only should be between 0 or 100. If it is greater than 100, it should not exceed 100. So we put it as 100, as it is 140 at this case. Similarly, we are going to give it as 60 here, and 60 it was mentioned as minus 60, so which is less than 0. So now we move this into a value called as 0 here. So that is how we are looking up this query to be executed. So for execution, now we are switching to the SQL part. In this SQL part, now we are going to use this the live SQL towards execution of our queries here. So first of all, we make this towards creation of the table. Thereby we will use the insert commands, and then we will verify whether the insert happened in the table or not. Thereby we will start working on creating the table, and once with creating the trigger, so create trigger with trigger event condition and stating at what level the trigger should execute. Once it is executed, then it should be applied to the variables which are going to be included hereby, not to the content which are going to be activated in the else part. So we will zoom it a little bit ahead. So now we can see this content. So create table student1, and it contains some SID, SNAME and marks. So now we are going to hit on the run button towards execution. So now we can see this table was created here. Now let us insert some values at this case. So now we can see that there are 4 rows inserted at this case. Then we are going to move it up with select star from student. So now we can see here there are 4 rows with the marks 50, 80, 78 and 90. So 4 rows are created. So let us move this result to our work area here, and then we will dump the marks at this case. Then we will check up or work with the original trigger. So now you can see line from line number 10 to line number 23. This is the complete form of a trigger. So we say it is create and replace with a trigger, and then the name of a trigger was student min max marks trigger, and it is going to, the event is going to be fired before an insert operation, it is fired before a delete operation, or it can be fired before an update operation over the name of a table. The table name was student1, and how it is going to be, the event is going to be executed, it is going to be executed at each row, and the condition was always the student ID should be greater than 0. Now we declare a local variables called as marks here, and then the existing data is there already. We were seen this Leela, Mani, Rama and Lakshmi, so these are the existing data. So for this existing data, the trigger will not be applied. Whenever a new marks is going to be taken into scenario, for that new marks only the triggering concept is going to happen. So for that we are going to say new of marks is greater than 100. So if assume that we give here Ramu as 140, the next command after the triggering event. So it will not accept 140 because we are now putting a range to 100. So at this case, it is going to give the upper threshold value as 100. And then we are going to use the else if part, and else if part, if it is less than 0, then again the minimum marks is going to be given as a threshold boundary with 0. So here we are going to put Durga with minus 60 here. So minus 60, it is not a valid range. Therefore, we are going to put the minimum marks as 0 here. So if that is how we include the triggering part, and as these two are insert commands which are going to happen at serial number 5 and serial number 6, only these two will be affected, and rest of the already included content will not be affected. So now let us see here one more issue. What we need to take was at line number 23, there is a slash here. So in order to execute the PLSQL part, we will put up the slash at this case. So now you can see up a command called as trigger was created. So once the triggering happens, now let us see a new insert command is going to be given into the student1 table. So now one row was inserted, and just prompt it up. What happens if the student1 is going to be selected? Now you can understand that it is 140. Now we will see that the tuple with 5 and Ramu is going to be within a range of 100 only. So let us hit the run button. So now you can see the new variable, the new tuple, that is 5, 10 and 100. It is going to give up to the maximum value of 100. Similarly, if we will look into the another aspect, that is if we want to put up execute the insert command of Durga with serial number 6. So again it is one row inserted, but internally the triggering is going to happen. The event is going to be fired before an insert operation, that it is going to put the values in the minimum slab. So now let us see whether this provoking concept what we were talking is going to happen. Yeah, the minimum value earlier was minus 60. Now it is going to be converted to 0. So this is how a trigger is going to function up. So once we talked about this student database, now let us see how a triggering happens in another set, that is towards the employee database. Let us see how it is going to be affected in an employee database. So for interest of time, we will now push the things, all the conditions at a time. and now we will start explaining from the employee salary difference trigger. So here is the another trigger, that is employee salary difference. So uh, we will have the old salary and then we will have the new salary. So thereby we will find the difference, find the difference between the uh, old and new salary. So assume if the old salary was 2000 and the new salary was 3000, then we will get the salary difference. We will get the salary difference as some 3000 minus 2000. So that's how we are going to get as 1000. So 1000 should be the answer, and that has to be taken up in via the trigger event. So that is the agenda of looking what this program is going to take up. For that, we are going to make employee number, employee name, and employee salary as the fields. Then we are going to insert the tuples, tuple 1 Lakshmi, tuple 2 Rama, and tuple 3 Mani, and tuple 4 as Leela. And now we get 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, and 25,000. And thereby we are going to prompt it up whether the insert is going to happen or not. So later on we will now build up the query part. So to build up this query part, we need to use the help of the PLSQL, the procedural line SQL, that too especially this trigger event. So now let us check how a trigger is going to be activated. So here we are going to say create or replace followed by trigger. It is going to be the result word, and employee sal diff trigger. It is going to be the user defined trigger name. Then it is going to be fired. The event is going to be fired with before operation. The event is going to be fired before operation, when before an insert, before a delete, and before an update in any cases. So in any case of either insert or update or delete, so in any of a case the trigger is going to be taken up, and that too it is going to work on the database. The database name we are going to call it as employee salary def. So on again here we are going to call it as a keyword here. So then it is a row level trigger. Now we are going to still work on the row level trigger. So it is activated for each and every row. It is going to be activated for each and every row. So first of all, we make a check when it is going to activate. Whenever the new employees are going to happen, from there onwards it is going to do. That means trigger event will affect when new insert or update or delete events will happen. Old data will not be affected. Okay, so that was the takeaway here. Now we need to have declaring of the local variable right from begin to end. We call it as a trigger body here, that is from declare part. And now we say difference, it is going to be the local variable. Now we are going to put up the condition. The condition was the difference. It is going to be between the existing and it is going to be with the new value and with the existing value. So there we are going to get the logic here. So that is old cell minus new cell. Thereby we are going to print up the command. So dbms.output, we call it as the package name, and put line, it is going to display the answers. We call it as a method name. Here. So package name is dbms underscore output, and put line, it is going to be the method name. So salary def, we are going to use the pipe, that is we are going to concatenate We are going to concatenate. So first of all, we will display the old salary, then we will display the new salary, and the difference salary we are going to compute, that is the new salary minus the old salary. So this is how we are going to move with this trigger. Thereby we are going to use we are going to insert new rows to verify the event, how the trigger is going to be activated. How the trigger is going to be activated, we need to verify. So similarly, we are going to update. We are going to use the update commands also. Why we are going to use the insert and update? Because it is happening at an insert, it is happening at a delete, and it is happening at a update operation. So we need to check whether this constraint is going to meet up as per the expected value or not. So let us see how, let us see here. So when this 27,000 is going to happen, so it is going to see that the value 27,000 is inserted. Then it is going to see that value 20,000 is inserted. Now when we are going to move this to this employee number 5, so employee number 5 was 27,000. So employee 27,000. So now it is going to say difference is equals to new cell minus old cell here. So old cell is some 27,000, and now we will be getting this value, that is with 5. We will be getting this value as update. So that is 27,500. Now we will be getting the answer as update with eSal with 500. So we have already updated it. So that is 27,000 plus 500 we made. So it is 27,500. So old sal was 27,000 and new salary was 27,000. So the difference was set as this. Similarly, update eSal is equals to eSal plus 500. That is for employee number 6. So this is employee number 6. So this 20,000, now it is going to be updated. It is going to be updated. So how much it is going to be updated? It is going to be updated as 20,000 plus 500. So now it is going to be 20,500. It is going to be 20,500. Next, trigger is going to be fired. So trigger is fired. So at this case, what it is going to happen? Difference is equals to some 20,500, that is new cell, minus 20,000, that is what we call it as old cell. So again we will be getting the difference. So just we will now see how the commands are going to be executed in our SQL editor. So now we will work with the employee database. So towards now we will be creating the employee database with 4 insert commands here. Then we will start working with the SQL part, PLSQL part, that is towards creating of the trigger part. So trigger, we are now putting the arranging the things in an order for clear-cut understanding. And now you can prompt it up the events to happen at this case. So we have 3 events here. So one mandatory condition was shown here was if we are going to work with the PLSQL part and that PLSQL part has to be taken up, we need to hit a / button after giving this. So that was a takeaway what we should understand here. Now let us see the events one after the other, how it is going to be affected. Okay, fine. So what we will do is we will now start creating of a table here. So table, we will now start creating the table here. So the table name we are going to call here as an employee salary difference, and it contains employee number, employee name, and employee salary. So 5 as a decimal part and 2 for a fraction part. So total it will give 7 comma 2. In this 7 it bifurcates 5 plus 2. So now let us hit on the run button. So now you can see the table was created here. The table was created here at this case. So once we can pull up all the outputs, we can streamline all the outputs here. So table was created. The next thing was we will thereby change. Table was created. Yeah. Then what we will do is we will pull up all the insert commands. So you can see there are 4 insert commands. So 4 insert commands has been done in the database, and just see whether all the 4 insert commands are being deployed in the database. Yeah, they are going to be stored in the database 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 records are stored at this case. So this is the record set what we are going to look. Thereby now we will work, or we will again talk again about the trigger, and then it start executing it. So the trigger we will assume here. So trigger, create or replace trigger, and that is the name of a trigger was employee salary difference, and it is going to be activated before, or the event can happen before an insert operation, delete operation, or an update operation, and it is affected on a table name called as employee salary difference, and it is a row level trigger. That's the reason why we are going to mention it as at each row. And the condition it checks was: 1, the employee number should be greater than 0. Second, it is in the trigger body between before open braces, that is begin, and close braces, that is end. So we will get a high level language construct as begin and end. Now we are going to use this difference. So we will prompt up with the new value and old towards executing the data. So now dbms underscore output is going to be the package name, put underscore line is going to be the method name, and we concatenate the text what we want to put it in the single quotes, and thereby we are going to print out the old salary, new salary, and the difference, that is new salary minus old salary at this query part. So now we will execute the trigger. So now you can see here the trigger is going to be trigger was happened now. So trigger was created here. So trigger was created. Then what we can do is, now we will use the insert command. So insert into employee salary difference with values with 5 as the number, Shiva as the name, and 27,000. So now you can see the how triggers are going to start working. So now the observation at this record. The observation of this record was Shiva record was not in the database earlier. Now we are going to compute it. So that's the reason why old salary was missing, and the salary difference, it is not mentioned here. So that is the reason, the takeaway what we have to understand at this case. So as Shiva record is inserted now, and there is no old salary, the trigger is activated, but the results of old and difference is not made. So to verify, we will update the tuple. We will update the tuple, or we will update the row number 6. So how it is going to work? So now what we will do is, we are going to hit on the update button, update command, that is update the table name, set salary was given a hike of 500. Now what we are going to expect? Old salary will be moved with 27,000. New salary will be moved up with 27,500 because we are now adding it, and the salary difference will be 500. So just hit on this button. So this is what the agenda or the main aim of taking this experiment, to see whether the assumed part is going to occur or not. So that is, one row was updated. So now trigger is activated. So trigger is activated at this case. Now you can see old salary was 27,000, new salary was 27,500. Now we computed the salary difference that it is given as 500. Similarly, let us hit one more command, that is Ramu with record number 6, and then it is with 20,000. So it is now recently inserted. So that is the reason why old salary and salary difference was empty. So there won't be any effect at this. There won't be any effect at this case. The next thing was, let us see how it is going to be done, how the record is going to be stored. So now we can see the SQL part, that the record number 6 has to be linked with the query, that is the trigger, that is the trigger event. So we get this trigger event. Now let us see whether all the things are going to be stored, all the records are going to be affected as of now. So the new salary was 27,500 here, the Ramu's salary was 20,500. So all these are going to be the stored data, and that is via the triggers. So this is all from the triggering event. So now once triggers are done, we will next move up with the new experiment, that is procedures and etc. Okay, thank you.